June 28th, 2016. Looking off to the south and southwest, we have, this is orphan thunder showers that have popped over the last couple hours. And then we have a little bit more sustained thunderstorms off to the southwest. These towers are heading off to the southeast. We had some leaning towers over the hills earlier. Look at this. There you have it. Hold on. Okay, we're back on. So those are the storm towers. They're going up. Big time, actually. Those are the storm towers going up as we speak, heading off to the southeast at about 20-30 miles per hour. You could basically see a redevelopment here, but it's basically pulse variety. Not going to help much in the way. It's basically withholding the energy. Hold on. Okay, this is what one of the future scans shows. Coming up here. We see thunderstorms initiate over the northern hills. Yep. And basically, around the 4 o'clock hour, we have some cells developing off to the south here. But there you go. See, I think now it's starting to see some convective inhibition, whereas most of the energy is off to the south and east over towards Wall. The supercell potential right there towards Hot Springs. This particular model for future cast model is watch it blossoms in Newcastle at around the 4 o'clock hour. There it goes. There it goes. A cyclical cell that heads right towards Hot Springs. Which is right here, and then bang. The bow echo. There are many on many. As you can see, we could already have this trough of shortwave moving through northeast Wyoming, and it's already producing a line of showers and thunderstorms. However, we're not seeing a explosive scenario over by Gillette, but it's basically showing there's upper level forcing and moving in as we speak, but as far as any real convection, There's just ones off to the south. There it is. And then this over here in Gillette, by Gillette. That's definitely, there it is, the forcing mechanisms coming in faster than we thought. Towards the 4 o'clock hour, I would say towards the 2 o'clock hour, we could even see some convection pop here. Just going to watch for these discrete cells to develop in the Central Hills and basically southern Lawrence County, western Pennington County, and then they're going to fly off towards Custer, and that's where we're probably going to see a supercell thunderstorm evolve, where we could have largest hail threat. I'm putting it right here. Unfortunately, that's Hermosa, but that's also, unfortunately, for those in Custer State Park too. There's going to be a risk for hail. So all these little pulse cells that keep developing over the lee side of the Black Hills here are a precursor of what's to come, basically. Go ahead and loop that again. We're going to look at this future scan model on this one in telecast. Again, you can see that the reason why I'm not out there chasing yet is because these storms are pulse and they turn to orphan anvils right here. An orphan anvil is just spread out its altostratus field, altostratus layer right there, out all the way out towards the Badlands. This is going to inhibit some convective activity for the time being for the next 2 hours or so. But we need to look at the visible satellite as well. That'll give us a better handle on what's going on. But let's, after all the radar stuff though, let's take a look at the future scan on this one. And this one should show up as, again, a defined line of thunderstorms moving through. Back out. There we go. Back out a little bit more. I can't. There. Watch this future scan. We'll see storms developing right here in northeastern Wyoming and then progress off to the southeast. Most of the energy now on this area here, the reason why that is there's a little bit of a surface trough keeping a little bit cool out of the north. It's actually that smoky haze effect off to the north in North Dakota. It's kind of sinking south, and that's kind of pushing the severe weather activity to the south. So they'll be watching the Black Hills, definitely, but south of Rapid City is going to be the more main target. And we have an also enhanced area of severe weather in western Nebraska and in all northeastern Colorado. Notice after this wave comes through, a round of storms comes through, we're not going to really see much in the way of any more redevelopment, except for a lone storm that might be cold core oriented on the cold pool part of the upper level storm, upper level disturbance. But basically, you can see a bow structures off to the east. There it goes towards Martin, South Dakota, towards the later half of the evening. But the main clusters will be developing over the southern hills. As we see currently, the stuff is percolating right now over central and southern hills. All right, let's take a look at the VisSat. Okay, we got here's the VisSat. We got a little cluster of thunderstorms and their anvil canopies covering up the central Black Hills, and like I said, it's moving off to the southeast. This northwest to southeast flow is not very conducive for widespread supercells, but it definitely is conducive for a high wind event and large hail. Look at the some of the cumulus clouds blossoming over by Gillette. We're going to watch that. That's the upper level forcing coming in from the northern Rockies. Um, and you could even see a little bit of a boundary here that's set up anywhere from Kadoka towards the Meade County line, eastern Meade County line, and by Creighton, and just east of Ellsworth Air Force Base. That is probably a warm frontal boundary that it will start to work with as warm frontal, meaning there'll be some turning of the wind field here, and that's a potential for a little bit higher helicity values that the models can't pick up right now, and will be on the watch, especially just east of Rapid City and southeast of Rapid City, a higher chance for maybe a rotating updraft or supercell thunderstorm, some more longevity to it. Live on Periscope, this is rapidweather.net. We are, and just as I thought, a mesoscale discussion has been issued by the SPC. Let's take a look. First of all, notice high CAPE values, 2,500 joules per kilogram. Western Nebraska, so I'm betting that's where the storm chasers are setting up right now. Look at the strong shear aloft. We've got in the northern parts of this, on the periphery of the ridge of high pressure, there is stronger jet stream wind influence, and it's up to 50 knots at the mid levels. That's pretty strong, 500 millibar level. Okay, let's read it. Summary: thunderstorm development is expected to become more widespread this afternoon. Watch will likely be needed in the next hour or two. Damaging winds, large hail looming concerns. Discussion: strong heating has occurred into early afternoon, and temperatures were generally in the 80s across the mesoscale discussion area. Dew points in the mid 50s to low 60s have resulted